From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White. Former U.S. President Donald Trump's lawyer tells jurors during closing arguments in the hush money trial the key witness lied.
Donald Trump sat by stoically during closing arguments by one of his defense lawyers in his hush money trial, who spent 2.5 hours telling jurors President Trump is innocent, he did not commit any crimes, and the DA has not met their burden of proof, period, and the evidence in the case should leave you wanting. Trump's attorney also calling star witness Michael Cohen the MVP of liars, out to get his former boss. The defense trying to discredit weeks of testimony that prosecutors say proved the former president interfered in the 2016 election through a scheme to suppress stories seen as harmful to his campaign. The prosecution's closing arguments were to take up the rest of the day. At criminal court in Manhattan, I'm Julie Walker.
The White House has condemned the loss of dozens of civilian lives in an Israeli airstrike in Rafah, but plans no policy changes as a result. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby told reporters an Israeli investigation into Sunday's strike suggests the civilian deaths were the result of a secondary explosion after a successful strike on 2 Hamas operatives. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says Canada rejects Israel's military offensive in Rafah, but won't say whether he'll respond with any actions. The Prime Minister noted Canada had urged Israel not to proceed with an invasion of Rafah, where the Israeli military originally told Palestinians to shelter.
The human suffering and tragedy we're seeing in Gaza must cease. Canada in no way supports the military operations by Israel in Rafah. Indeed, we have been calling for a ceasefire, including at the UN, since December, and will continue to.
Trudeau says his government is horrified by the attack, but he walked away from reporters when asked what he would do about it. The Liberal government says the latest attempt by Conservatives to oust the House Speaker is about undermining democratic institutions. Government House Leader Stephen McKinnon says the opposition Conservatives are looking to create disorder and chaos.
This is the playbook that we're seeing across the world. It's the playbook we're seeing in the United States, and it's a shame that Conservatives are engaging in it here.
Tonight, MPs will vote on a Conservative motion calling for the House Speaker to resign over what they say is partisan behavior, but the move is expected to fail. Canada's privacy czar and a government official say a Senate bill aiming to block minors from sexually explicit material online could end up applying to streaming services like Netflix. Both the country's privacy commissioner and the deputy heritage minister say legislators should narrow the bill's scope. Experts like University of Ottawa law professor Michael Geis calls the bill fundamentally flawed and says it raises major privacy concerns. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, Game 4 of the NHL's Eastern Conference Final goes tonight as the Florida Panthers look to even the series with the New York Rangers. New York took a 2-1 lead in the series with a 5-4 overtime win Sunday night in Sunrise, Florida. If the Rangers win tonight, they can close out the series at home Thursday. The Toronto Blue Jays continue a 3-game series with the White Sox tonight in Chicago. The Blue Jays won yesterday's opener 5-1 thanks to home runs from George Springer, Bo Bichette, and Davis Schneider. Toronto FC visits the Philadelphia Union in MLS play tomorrow, with Philadelphia coach Jim Curtin well aware of the dangers Toronto poses in attack this season.
If you watch Toronto on film, a much improved team, really well organized, really well coached, and a dangerous team.
After posting back-to-back shutouts on the road, Curtin hopes his team can show off the same stingy defense at Subaru Park. From the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.